Hey business owners, do you know what to look for when you're picking a business broker? Well, stay tuned because we're going to talk to John William Wade from Calgary Investment Group, and we are going to find out what you should look for and who you should pick when you're choosing a business broker. Stay tuned on Scaling Your Business.
Let's be honest, you didn't start your business to buy yourself a job. So if you're looking on how to scale your business and eventually get it ready so that you can sell and exit with all the profits in your pockets, you have got to tune in. I will be interviewing industry experts who have scaled their businesses, sold successfully. So make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss this show.
Hey, I'm down here with John William Wade, and you are Calgary's commercial real estate and business broker. And I wanted to talk to you today about business brokering. Because the buying and selling of businesses, we're talking about scaling your business, and what got you into this?
Oh, well, I used to own my own company in Japan. So I lived in Japan for almost 8 years, where we had 3 English schools and a staff of 10.
Wow.
And then my father, who was doing business brokering here in Calgary, called me up and said, would you be interested in getting involved with business brokering and commercial real estate? And at the time I'd been in Japan for a lot longer than I anticipated. And I was looking to leave. And I thought, this might be a good chance to come back to Calgary and get involved in business with them.
Interesting. So you had to go get certification and everything? And
well, for my commercial real estate license, yes.
Yeah.
We, had to come back on a sabbatical I took this summer off and I was running a tour from Japan to Calgary. So before the tour began, I came back, took the course for real estate, took the test. And the next day after the test, I was in Toronto meeting my contingent, running them through Niagara Falls, the rest of Canada. And then the day before we went back to Japan, I found out that I'd passed the test and I had something to come back to.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And then for business brokering, is there tests that you have to take, certifications?
Not in Alberta. In Alberta, actually, it's interesting because they don't really have a license for business brokering.
Okay.
So anybody could technically hang out a shingle saying that they're a business broker. Some people do. And then you find out very quickly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alberta's kind of still the Wild West.
Okay. But you were lucky because you got to come in and learn under your father, who had been doing it for how many years before you joined?
Well, my father pretty much had been doing it all his life. He immigrated to Canada in Vancouver in 1970 and to start Pizza Hut in Canada.
Oh, no
so
way.
He was involved in site selection and franchises and those types of things in Vancouver, Vernon, Kelowna, Cranbrook, right up to Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
Until PepsiCo bought everybody out.
Okay.
And then the first time I ever worked with him formally was when we were involved with the Garage Bar and Grill in Eau Claire Market. We owned the kitchen side where we were partners with the other owners.
Yep.
And so I worked with him. Then after that, I went off to Japan and started my own company. So he'd been doing it pretty much all his life, because in franchising, that's what you do. You do site selection and growing the businesses, selling them. And then he got involved more formally with it, probably, I would imagine, about the year 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you join him?
I came back to Canada in 2005.
Okay.
So 20 years ago.
So, oh my goodness. So you've been doing this for 20 years.
Yes.
And so what is it that attracted you to business brokering? Like, why do you like doing it?
I really like it because I come from an entrepreneurial family. Yeah. So I understand when, people look at their company, and if they're really honest, a lot of people will actually love their company more than their own family. And it sounds bad to people who are employees or don't understand that. But if they look at it, they go, well, it's the company that allowed them to meet their spouse. It's the company that allowed them to have the money to get married. It's the company that allowed them to have kids, put them to school, go through university. It's provided everything that they have.
Yeah, it's a sense of security.
And they spend more time with their company sometimes than their family. So, their whole family has revolved around this, and it's their baby.
Yeah.
So knowing that, I have a special soft spot for business owners here in Calgary, because I understand where they come from, and I understand the sacrifices that they've had to make.
Yeah.
And so we respect their business like that. And we know that when it comes down to sell their business, they're going to be almost doing an unnatural act. They're selling their baby.
Right.
And we understand that. So coming from that background, we really enjoy getting to know the families, getting to know the owners. We don't usually get to know the employees. We deliberately don't.
Yeah.
And then we love passing that torch on. And it gives me a big sense of pride to go around at different cities saying, oh, this business is here because we sold it.
Right.
And it's still running today.
Because as business owners, we're exiting at some point, whether we want to or not.
Yep.
But better to be strategic about it.
100%. You know, we tell people, they say, oh, I'll never sell my business. Okay, well, that's fine. You're going to exit one way or the other. It's either signing a paper or in a pine box.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well like start planning and thinking ahead.
Yes.
And so when should business owners really start thinking about it?
Well, you know, honestly, it really should be something you think about from the beginning. You know, when you actually go into a business, you know, the smartest people will go into it with an exit strategy in mind. Now, it might change as you go along. You might like the business and might not want to exit. You might expand the business. You know, all kinds of twists and turns happen. But there should be some thought given to, why am I getting involved with this business?
Yes.
Why am I starting it, or why am I buying it? And what do I intend to do with it?
This was totally my failure. I tell you, Adam and I started, we like fell in love with our business, the idea of being an entrepreneur, and like just absolutely in love with it. And it like, there was a harsh reality wake up moment, right? Where like, I wasn't doing so well. Adam had gone through some health stuff. I went through some health stuff, and I was like, okay, like I don't control this at a certain point. So like, I need to figure out what is happening with it, right? Because in my opinion, like I have a whole bunch of hearts and mouths to feed of my employees that I want to surpass long past me.
100%.
And so, yeah, it was a learning.
Well, and even for me, it's funny because it's kind of sometimes, you know, you're like the shoemaker who makes shoes for everybody else. And then in your own shoe company, your kids have no shoes. And so sometimes it's been like that in my business. I've been making alterations, and that's why we have a team now. I'm delegating more and more to the team. I tell people I'm trying to fire myself from lots of different positions.
Absolutely.
And hopefully at some point I'll be able to completely fire myself and just literally focus on the team and have them be successful.
That's awesome. I made a series of like humorous video clips, and one of them was like a Dear Diary series. It was like, Dear Diary, I became an entrepreneur so I could work whenever I wanted. Apparently, I wanted to work 24/7, right? So being able to step back and be like, you know what, there's somebody way more capable, like Artin here behind the camera, somebody way more capable than me at doing what we do. And so finding those people and nurturing them to you know, come along with you has been probably the most powerful thing.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey, you know, and I'm still on my journey. Right, and I probably always will be.
Yeah, it is. It is a journey. So if people are going, okay, I haven't thought about exiting. Now that I know, now John's told me I should be thinking about this, even if I'm not doing it for 20 years. What should they do to get a hold of you? Where should they start?
So they can come to our website. You know, it's the Calgary Investment Group.com. So CALGARY investment INVESTMENT GROUP.com. Then come to there. And then also from a professional standpoint, many of the business owners like to reach out through LinkedIn. So they can find me on John William Wade. I'm the only one. It's easy to find me. And they can reach out. Sometimes people, especially in a professional setting, feel more comfortable reaching out through LinkedIn.
Yeah, perfect. We'll put all the contact information down below. So if you're a business owner and you're thinking about selling, or you haven't even thought about it and you need to know what you need to know to get started and make sure you're strategically growing your business so that you have something that gives back when you decide to exit, you got to contact John. Reach out to the contact below, and we'll see you in the next episode. I want to hear about the biggest mistakes business owners make. So let's talk about that next time.
Before you go back to the grind and back to the whirlwind of your business, make sure you subscribe and like so that you can catch the next episode where we're going to interview leaders so you can learn how to scale your business.